Hello, everyone. I'd like to welcome you today to our webinar. We thank you all for joining us today, and we very much appreciate your time. My name is Matt McEwen. I'm VP of Product Management at TVU Networks, and I'm joined today by Jared Timmons, who's our SVP of Solutions for TVU, and also Vijay Parvadika, who's our Senior Product Manager, and we also have Paul Shen, our CEO. Before we get started, I'd like to just mention that we'll be having a Q&A session at the end of our presentation today. So if you have any questions, we'd like to invite you to submit them to the Zoom chat or submit via the Q&A button on the interface. We're going to try to get through as many questions as we can at the end of the presentation. So today we're going to be looking at a very exciting new tool we're releasing at TVU today, and it's going to change the way people interact remotely for live video production. So without further delay, I'm going to pass this over to Jared to get us started. Jared?
Hey, thanks, Matt. So today we would love to introduce to everyone the concept of social production. And we've been hard at work with TVU, working with customers from around the world, really trying to help solve some of the significant problems that have come up from the limitations brought about by COVID-19. And in talking to a plethora of companies and customers from various different verticals, it became very clear that the way we were trying to collaborate to do production in the cloud with everyone co-located was just not good enough to get the job done, and it caused all kinds of complexities and problems. So for the past few months, we've been working with our customers to develop something we believe is revolutionary, and that's the concept of social production through TVU Partyline, which will enable both the talent, user-generated content entrants, as well as the production staff and operations to work together in a collaborative fashion as if they were in the same PCR together from anywhere in the world. We also think that this is going to open up a new kind of production that will enable our customers to do very new and intuitive and novel things with the way that we bring in fan engagement, we bring in user-generated content, we bring in various different stakeholders and content into the environment that we think will usher in a new age of producing content in the cloud. So with that, I just want to talk a little bit before we dig into TVU Producer. And TVU Producer is our cloud production platform, and we believe it is the most intuitive, easy to use, and robust broadcast-grade cloud production environment in the market today. When we set out to create TVU Producer, we set out to ensure that it was easy to use. And in fact, what we're seeing now is a lot of the times in cloud production, the new paradigm is talent is the new operator. So we wanted to make an accessible production tool set that anyone could just kind of pick up and intuitively use, but that was built on the foundation of really robust broadcast grade functionality so that you could have professional quality, but with the ease of use where anyone can pick up the product and be going live very, very soon. So with that, what we're gonna do is go to a quick video.
TVU Producer is a live video production tool in the cloud. It allows multiple live and synchronized IP video streams to be seamlessly switched and combined with clip playout and graphics overlay from a simple browser-based interface. Programs produced in Producer can output to multiple destinations simultaneously, including TVU Grid for traditional SDI, NDI, or SMPTE2110 workflows, as well as multiple IP, social media, or CDN destinations, including Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitch, and more. A variety of IP devices can be used as inputs to Producer, including TVU packs, TVU grid sources, or multiple synchronized SDI inputs via TVU RPS. It is also possible to input generic IP streams such as RTMP, HLS, SRT, YouTube VOD, and more. But it is TVU Anywhere, our iOS or Android-based transmitter, that when combined with TVU Producer, creates the concept of social production, where both talent and production staff can create professional programming from virtually anywhere and without the limitations of traditional production tools. Live programs can be created quickly and efficiently without anyone actually having to be in the studio. Talent can quickly join a live production without complicated setup and easily communicate with others involved in the production with a familiar interface.
So as Jared mentioned, the use of TVU Producer has exploded over the last few weeks. You know, everyone has had to quickly adapt to the new normal, you know, from producing from remote locations. And that includes talent, technical staff, production staff. Everyone's had to quickly adapt to produce completely remotely. And Producer has really come to that, become the solution to produce content completely remotely and completely in the cloud outside of the standard control room environment. And other tools like our TVU Anywhere, which is our iOS and Android-based transmitter, has made this transition super easy. But we did notice there is one weak point, and that is existing TalkBack and IFB systems. They're not really and not easily suited to the new remote production workflows. They can be set up and they can be managed, but it's difficult, especially under rapidly changing conditions. And that's really the world we're in right now, is rapidly changing conditions. So, you know, talent, for example, is being used to being in the same studio with colleagues. They've been able to see body language of them all sitting in the studio at the same time. And obviously this communication is key to the flow of a production. You know, there's been some solutions that allow you to bring return video feeds into remote locations, and they work, but typically they're only one feed, and they become more and more difficult to do when you've got multiple remote contributors. What we've done is we've introduced this concept of Partyline, and what Partyline is it's a real-time interactive layer. It allows the production crews, the talent, even the equipment to interact with each other in a very low latency, real-time environment, much like a conference call line like we're using today. They don't have to be in the same physical location, and people can join very simply and easily. And Jared, let's have a look at how Partyline fits into a production environment.
Great, thanks, Matt. So here's just a very simple diagram of how a lot of user-generated content and cloud-based productions have been working so far with at-home production. You know, most of the time you have either a camera packed with a professional camera and talent. You know, a lot of times, especially in interview situations at various different locations, and you have a producer or operational staff at another location. And so we've been bringing all of this content into the cloud, and then everyone has really scurried to find a way to communicate to each other during all of this. And people have used several different commodity meeting tool sets that really weren't created with production or with professional quality in mind. So what we set out to do with our real-time interactive layer as part of Partyline is connect all of those components of the production, whether it be talent, whether it be production staff, or whether even it could be user-generated content, citizen journalists, fans at various entertainment events. All of those elements that used to be distinct and separate from the broadcast environment through Partyline are now able to be brought into an interface where they can be used for collaboration, discussion, prep before production environments, and then easily be brought into the production environment, almost like you have an unlimited cloud router with this video and audio coming into it, and you can all hear each other. You can create groups that can hear certain components. You can have production staff speak in a certain way to the talent, so the talent can differentiate between what is an operational request over Partyline or what is a request or a discussion that's actually part of the production. And then each of these elements is individually routable into the production domain so that you can have full control over the audio and the video and the production domain and be collaborating as if you were in the same production environment or room together. So with that, we're going to do a brief introduction about how you use TVU Partyline, its flexibility and functionality.
To start a TVU Partyline session, simply press the Start Party button in the upper left corner. A URL will appear at the top of the UI. To add others to the Partyline, simply share the URL with them. Anyone using a Chrome browser or TVU Anywhere device running on Android or iOS will be able to join your Partyline session simply by clicking on the URL. As additional contributors join the Partyline, they'll appear in the Partyline browser interface. It'll be possible to see and talk to each person on a low 350 millisecond latency connection, much like a standard video conferencing app. Echo cancelling and mix -1 ensure there is no feedback or echo in the conference line. On TVU Anywhere, it is also possible to see and hear all contributors to the party line. Again, echo cancellation and mix -1 ensure a smooth experience, and there is no need to use headphones. Preview of all party line participants is in HD quality and fully synchronized on a low 350 millisecond latency. This makes it possible for everyone to easily see and interact with each other, including the ability for talent to see body language cues as if they were in the same studio. For directors and technical staff, they can also join Partyline in voice-only mode from either a browser or TVU Anywhere. Voice cues from these participants can be set to only output from the left or right channel, so they're not confused with contributors involved in the program. Once the party line is set up, any TVU Anywhere participant can be easily added to a TVU Producer session from the Partyline interface. To do this, simply log into a TVU Producer session using the same TVU account. Select the session at the bottom of the Partyline interface, and then add any TVU Anywhere sources to available producer channels. This function makes it extremely easy to screen external contributors prior to adding them to an active producer session. TVU Anywhere transmission to producer uses the IS Plus transmission protocol to ensure high picture quality and resiliency. When in an active producer session, the program output of producer appears in a large window at the top left of the Anywhere interface. It also appears in the web browser interface. This is on the same low latency preview as the party line. Having this preview allows contributors to see the final program output, including graphics, clip playback, and more in time with their interaction. Once again, this also includes mix -1, preventing any feedback or echo.
So as you can see, the new real-time interactive layer that Producer allows gives you the ability to create true social production. And what I mean by social production is that all colleagues involved in the production, talent, technical crews, everyone can join very simply and easily, just like we did to the Zoom conference today. It doesn't matter where you're located. All you need is a public internet connection. Everyone will be on the same shared line. The other key point here, though, is that Partyline is directly integrated with the production tool itself. And the first example that we have of that is its integration with Producer. So the nice part about this is to create a producer session, you know, a customer just needs a public internet connection, a device as simple as our free TVU Anywhere application, or a web browser, and you've removed all the technical hurdles of bringing them into the production, which allows them to focus on, you know, the smooth interaction and everything that's needed for a low latency video production, live video production. Jared?
Yeah, and one thing I would add as well is that all the power that we've built into our user-generated content tools like TVU Anywhere, and the ability to use both the front and the rear-facing camera, and the ability to broadcast from any cellular connection, we believe as part of social production will open up a new way of content providers being able to take content from the field, be able to discern if that content is newsworthy or ready to be taken to air, and to be able to also communicate with the people out in the field in various news environments or sports environments that are creating that content, and bring it directly into production with as easy as sending a link to someone. So we're really excited about the opportunities for a different way of producing content and a different way of allowing everyone to be a contributor to that content in a very seamless and professional and secure manner. So with that, what I'd like to do is, I think we've talked a little bit about what we can do on the front end of our production environment with TVU Partyline into Producer. And TVU Partyline, the way that we've built it as well, it will also over time connect to all of our various ecosystems of products and be able to move through our infrastructure just as any other feed. So the utilization cases that our customers are going to be able to come up with are going to be amazing. But one of the things we wanted to also discuss is, now that you have this real-time interaction layer and this ability to collaborate, the things that you can do inside of Producer as a broadcast-grade cloud production environment, I think are only going to become more numerous and more extensible. So what we're going to go through as well is some more innovations that we have been working on inside of TVU Producer to enable those next generation of workflow. So one of the quick elements is when we started out with Producer, job number one for us was to make sure that it was easy to use, but that we weren't sacrificing the things that broadcasters and professionals demand from their production tool set, like source sync and frame accurate capabilities. And so we have a lot of key technology specifically focused on making sure that we're aligning all of the signals and that we're producing content in a way that is seamless to the operator, but is frame accurate on the output. So with that, we're going to show you a little bit of a video on how we do that with Producer.
When TVU devices are used with Producer, they are automatically synchronized in the cloud, regardless of where sources may be located. No manual adjustment is necessary. The low latency, browser-based Producer interface provides the technical director with a true, frame-accurate preview of the sources being used, allowing them to make switching decisions based on what they see in the interface. Switches made in Producer will be absolutely frame accurate on the output side.
So another one of the new introductions we've done with Producer recently is our new audio mixer interface. So this is a separate interface that allows an audio operator to control all input and output levels of all the sources used in a Producer production. This is a separate URL that allows the audio operator to log in separately and control those levels. And being that it's also on the same low latency connection, he could be sitting in the same room with the person switching the video sources and doing graphics and clip playback, or he could be remotely located in another location. It all uses and interacts with the same Producer session. Not only do we have the ability to adjust levels, we've got the ability to create groups so that you can control a set of inputs from a single fader, and also other common audio tools such as pan, the ability to mute any channel, solo a channel for monitoring, etc. So let's have a quick look at a video on the audio mixer panel.
Another exciting new Producer feature is our new audio panel. The audio panel is a separate interface for a particular Producer session that allows an audio operator to mix the audio for a program separately to the video and graphics operator. The audio operator can not only monitor each of the video feeds for a production, but they can also adjust all audio input levels as well as the master output. It's also possible to adjust pan for each channel and assign channels to groups for simple management of multiple sources. Each channel can also be muted or selected as a solo monitor for fine-tuning. The audio panel interface will be available shortly for Producer.
Yeah, another key functionality inside of TVU Producer is our graphics capability. And again, when we set out to build the capability to do graphics inside of Producer, we really wanted to make sure it was as easy and simplistic as possible. So we have this concept of what you see is what you get graphics when it comes to, simple PNGs, JPEGs, bitmap files, and the ability to easily import those graphics, move them around in a preview window, set their sizing, set their position, and easily take them to air. But in accordance with also having more professional level tools for our customers, we've also built a very sophisticated HTML rendering layer as part of Producer that can connect to many third-party applications and can allow you to do graphical animations, full screens, lower thirds, ticker data, all of the professional quality graphics that you would be accustomed to in a normal production environment. So with that, I'm going to show you just a brief video about TVU Producer graphics.
Producer also has multiple options for graphics overlays. For simple graphics, such as logo insertion or simple titles, it is possible to upload multiple JPEG, PNG, or GIF files to the Producer session directly from the device hosting the session. Graphics can be easily added, scaled, and positioned in the preview window before being added to the program output. Multiple independent graphic elements can be simultaneously added to the session. For more complex graphics requirements, TVU has partnered with third-party graphics packages from companies like Singular Live and Neverknow. Graphics created in these packages can be loaded and managed directly from within the Producer interface using the same methods.
So another function we've had with Producer since day one is our instant replay function. A lot of the interest in using Producer has been for live sports. So what our instant replay function does is it automatically records all input sources in the cloud, up a 60-second buffer of all the input sources, so that if there's something you want to quickly replay, there's a nice and simple to use interface that allows you to mark an in and out of that, any portion of that 60 seconds, and quickly cut it to a replay. This is obviously ideal for sports so that you can quickly do a replay of a goal or something like that. So let's have a look at that.
TVU Producer has a very simple to use replay function. The last 60 seconds of each TVU Producer source is recorded in the cloud automatically. By selecting the replay function, it's possible to select any of the input sources and review a timeline of the last 60 seconds. It is possible to set playback markers of a portion of the content. A preview of the in and out markers appears on the preview window on the left as you scrub. Once the replay segment is selected, by pressing the replay cut button, the marked segment will replay on the program output. After the segment has replayed, Producer will cut back to the previous selection.
So another one of the great features in TVU Producer is really the ability to be flexible in the way that we handle output and record. So TVU Producer has the ability to take in multiple kinds of inputs, whether those be streams or files or user-generated content or live video through SDI or IP. But also we wanted to make sure that Producer was as flexible as possible on the output, allowing you to do both linear outputs as well as digital outputs simultaneously, and being able to present your content to as many people in as many creative ways as you can think of, as well as being able to take all of those productions as recorded elements and utilize them in other ways. We have several utilizations of Producer where people use that as a live production environment and also use it as a way of producing content and then using the record for air at a later date. So with that, we'll show you a little bit about the capability of TVU Producer when it comes to output and recording capabilities.
Producer can output to multiple destinations simultaneously, including support for SDI, CDN, or social media workflows. For traditional SDI, NDI, or SMPTE 2110 workflow, Producer can output to a TVU grid device. For CDN or social media broadcast, it is possible to output either a standard RTMP or HLS stream. For applications such as Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitch, and more, TVU is integrated with APIs from these social media partners in order to seamlessly integrate to the social media environment. Multiple output sessions can be encoded and broadcast simultaneously. All sessions are also recorded in the cloud and available for later download.
So another thing that's just coming along recently is the ability to create both landscape and portrait productions at the same time. So obviously the large majority of content these days is consumed through social media and smartphones and tablets and the like. But there's also still demand, obviously, to deliver through standard linear channels. And, you know, many of the social media applications, a lot of the content being delivered these days is being done in the 9:16 format. And producing content, live content that's ideal for portrait delivery and linear delivery, so both 9:16 and 16:9 at the same time, is very difficult to do from a single tool. But with Producer, we've kind of made that easy. What we've done is we have a unique new feature that allows you to have a production in Producer and use the same sources to produce an output that can be delivered simultaneously in landscape and portrait mode from the same live production. So you could, for instance, output to Periscope and Facebook in 9:16 format, and then broadcast to YouTube Live and a linear channel at the same time in 16:9, all from the same production. As you can see from the screenshot here, there is an indicator to the operator exactly where the barriers of the 16:9 and the 9:16 production. So you can optimize the graphics, the camera angles, the switching, clip playback, everything, all from the one interface. And it will suit both productions. And then you set on the output side, you can set a 9:16, a 16:9, or multiple of both of those, all with the same producer session. So this is a new feature that'll be available very shortly.
Thanks, Matt. So in recap, we're really, really excited about the opportunity we think to change a paradigm in cloud production, to offer a new way of thinking about collaboration amongst both your operational staff, your director staff, as well as a more robust and professional way of interacting with talent and bringing in additional user-generated content from the field in a way that we think will enable social production to open up new markets and new kinds of content that our customers can produce, as well as coupling that with the professional quality and ease of use that we have with TVU Producer, allowing you to take almost anything in, produce that content, and output that into it directly to your linear environment, to social media, or even into other production environments as a pre-switch environment as well. So we're really excited about this, and as all the products we release, they're available on our website. And for joining today, we'd really like you guys to go to the website, download a trial, and play with the products itself. We've tried to make that as easy as possible, and really think that if you'll just pick it up and start using it, you guys are going to come up with a lot of options and ideas that could really make a huge difference in this time where we can't be together, we can't be collaborating in person, and the cloud has become more important than ever, and us producing our content and distributing it to our customers and to viewers in a different way. So you can use any iPhone, iOS, you can use Mac, you can use Windows. We're agnostic, and we try to be as open as possible to all of those elements. So we've made that available on our website for you today. And what we'd like to do is spend a little bit of time answering the significant amount of questions that have come in from multiple different social media components at this point in time. So with that, I will open it up for questions, and let's get video on as well. Well, I'm unable to start my video. So Matt, a couple of the questions coming in. This one says, how does Partyline differ from a standard conferencing solution such as Zoom?
Well, I think, what we've tried to do is provide that familiar interface of joining a conference system, right? The very simple, send someone a URL, they click on it, they join the conference, much like what we did today with this Zoom session. But the big difference here is that this is being designed to be used with live production tools. And I think the integration that we have with TVU Producer is a great example of how those pieces come together. So the nice part about it is, yes, it allows everyone to easily join the production, very simple and easily, by just opening up a simple URL. They have that familiar low latency interface that they are familiar with a conferencing system, but then they can seamlessly add people to a production just with the click of a mouse. One of the videos showed how easily it was to add someone who has joined a Partyline session and added as a live source into TVU Producer. So I think the real key here is that familiar interface that everyone knows from conferencing systems, but the ability to quickly and easily integrate that with a live production tool, a live video production tool.
Let me, this is Paul, let me jump in as well, answer this question, some additional supplements. Thank you, Matt. One of the important parts, a lot of people has been familiar with the broadcast with TVU product equipment is a very high quality broadcast quality, which a lot of us familiar with full HD resolution. And, you need to be on air, audio, video synchronization. All those normally is taken as granted in the broadcast environment. And the video conferencing, traditional coming thinking is interactivity is very important, how low latency it is. But with sacrifice of the picture quality and the synchronization audio and the video. With this solution, literally is put those two together. On one hand, we provide a full HD quality, perfect synced audio and video. And at the same time, we enable the interactivity among all the people, participants, as if they're in the same physical space or this video conferencing. So they can have a real-time interaction with each other. But the production side is not using those low quality, often out of sync audio and video signal for the production. They are using a full HD quality, perfect synced signal for the production. So this is what fundamentally what we try to address the problem. As a matter, as also mentioned, very important, there are a lot of requirement in the broadcasting industry, which is the video conferencing, not often they address. For example, all of us can participate, and I may be the producer. I don't want my audio be heard by anyone else. And so the signal is very easy to manage which signal people can talk to each other, we still can talk, but my signal is never in the production. And so only the corresponding signal is to the production. Another very important part is we all know, when we produced, we have the output. Everyone wanna see what's the output. And sometimes we are talking about exactly what's on the main screen. And, but we don't wanna hear our own voice. Mix minus one is a critical issue. This is what this entire solution solving that problem is full quality production at the same time without all the inherited problem of the video conferences.
Agreed. And one of the things I would add to that, Paul, is that in a lot of our tests and a lot of the beta partnerships we've been utilizing Partyline with customers. We don't use Zoom conferences anymore. It's difficult to get everyone on that conference initially, but I think moving forward, we'll see our own need as a company less and less to use other software environments like this because it just works so well. And one of the things that we saw that was really a differentiating is the quality of the video, as well as the ability to mix audio sources together without feedback. So we have this synthesized kind of test that we've done with various customers where all of us, there may be 15, 20 of us on the line, continue to speak over each other. And the interesting thing that I think differentiates this in a professional manner is you can uniquely hear each audio channel, and it doesn't have this kind of disruption that you get with, I would say, commodity-based meeting environments where everyone's trying to wait for their chance to get in and talk, and it's this interrupting element where the audio will cut off. We've built the audio to work like a broadcaster would expect audio to work in those kinds of situations. And I think it's one of the things you really have to try it and see it and hear it to understand the difference that we're producing in the market right now. So
I'd like to add in one more. And one of the gentlemen, Adam Goldfein, is asking a question: what bandwidth is required for full HD on the talent end? And with this solution in place, usually 3 megabit per second is kind of ideal. Yes, below you can still do a very high quality with HEVC, but it's not ideal for the broadcast quality. And 3 megabit per second usually is where the line you will see matches with the broadcast quality of the signal.
Excellent. Couple more questions. Maybe Matt, we could fill this one. With TVU Anywhere or Partyline, is it possible to use an external microphone or an external camera other than the one on the phone?
Yeah, so we've had customers and our own tests where we've used pretty much most, external lavalier microphones that are on the market from Shure, from Rode, many different brands. And as long as you have the right adapter for the phone itself, we can use those. Another thing we just recently added was the ability to control audio input level at the TVU Anywhere device, which is actually really nice. Another thing that is just come to market for Android phones is the ability to connect an SDI or HDMI device to an Android TVU Anywhere device, which I think becomes probably the lowest cost and simplest way of getting a professional camera source into a producer and a Partyline session. Of course, the other thing you can do is you can use TVU Pack. TVU Pack is our flagship product. M-Link, which is our rack mount version. TVU Nano, which is our miniature version. You can use TVU Grid. So if you're trying to bring in an NDI source or an SRT source, all of these can be integrated through our TVU Grid Edge device. And we can use essentially any non-proprietary IP video source. So you have a lot of options for bringing in, not only using external microphones, you also have a lot of options for different video inputs as well.
Excellent. Another question, I think I may field this one because it's one of the things I think is most interesting. It says, can you use both the front and back facing cameras on TVU Anywhere with Partyline? And the answer is yes, absolutely. All the functionality of TVU Anywhere is accessible via Partyline. And one of the really interesting things when you look at news gathering or you look at fan engagement or user generated content from various different venues, if a person has a phone, they can both be on the conference or they can be someone listening to your audio using the other side of their camera that you're directing into a certain environment. So now the kind of feedback and capabilities you have when you're working with citizen journalists out in the field is almost unlimited. So you think about some of the news events that have been happening recently, your ability to take the commodity camera that anyone else is using, send them a link, have them join, and be able to take that to air and be able to basically form a multi-camera shoot at any news location almost instantaneously through this product, we believe is something that can make a huge difference. So with that, there's a couple more, I think, questions about people trying to just understand what the interfaces are. Like, do I have to use headphones in Partyline for TVU Anywhere? Matt?
I mean, no, that's one of the nice functions about it. So whether I'm on TVU Anywhere or I'm joining from just a laptop in a Chrome browser, as we talked about in the presentation and Paul just mentioned, there's echo cancellation and mix -1 on everything, even the program feed that's coming into to view in the Partyline interface. So I could be literally talking to my phone with no headset, no nothing. I can hear all the other participants and I'll never hear myself back. And again, one of the key parts about that is everyone's on that low latency line. So you also have that added advantage that there's the awkward pause. I think everyone's probably seen that. You're never going to see that because everyone's on the same low latency environment.
I'd like to add in one more. There's a gentleman, Rohit Shah, was asking a question. Is it possible to send a mix minus to multiple guest chat? Yes. Matt just answered that question. Yes, all the signal go back to everyone. It's all mix -1. They can hear everyone, but they will never hear their own voices. That's a very critical piece, and that enables it, just like what Matt said, without any headphone set, without anything, they can just freely talking to each other, just as if they are in the same physical location.
Excellent. All right, BJ, got a question for you.
Yeah.
How many attendees can Partyline have? So essentially, how does it scale? Can you provide us an answer to that?
Yeah. Partyline can take, in terms of hundreds of callers. So certainly we are, building our product line, which can take, up to hundreds of callers and even more scalable. The product is technically even more scalable. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. So can someone walk us through, and maybe Paul, you would be good for this, to walk us through, if I have two remote anchors, how do they hear each other and speak to each other in an environment where they're both on air? So how does that operate?
Just as we said, like a TV Anywhere is one of the capture devices. It is a communication device, just like they are talking to the video conferencing. As if they are talking to video conferencing, at the same time, the TV Anywhere is a capture device, and wherever they are talking to the phone, or they can use TV Anywhere, and the signal go directly into the production. So it's like a video conferencing. They're talking to each other without hearing their own voices. They can see the program output on their devices. In fact, we are also releasing the Mac version, so they can use Mac just as if, any of the video conferencing.
Excellent. And then in that situation, just to kind of group a couple questions together so we can get through all of these in time. If I have an interview situation where multiple talent can obviously hear each other now in sync while watching the production output while they're communicating on it. How would the TD or the operations staff communicate with those talent, maybe to tell them that it was time to switch segments, et cetera, et cetera?
Yeah, that's one of the very important capability of the system. And system can send the signal, the control signal to a certain channel, like a left channel. So people can distinguish a stereo channel is among all the participants on the show. And then on the left channel, it is the production crew. So they right away can extinguish what the voice, they don't even have to remember that.
Excellent. And then a couple of other questions I'll group together because I think they're similar. Is this just a solution for producer, or have we built Partyline in a way that makes it extensible to other workflows?
Yes, let me jump in on this one. In fact, this announcement is about TVU Partyline, but the first realization of this capability is in our, quite popular product is TVU Producer. That's why TVU Producer 3.0 is also the important topic. But this is integrated into all our product line, including our TVU1, TVU Pack, and so any customer is, we have customers thousands in 100 or so countries today are using our product. They can quickly enable this capability.
As well as being able to take that into grid and MediaMind and other infrastructure
Exactly.
and AI-based elements, correct?
Yeah, yeah. The very important part is Partyline. What we want to create is enable anyone try to do a production today in a social distancing environment, be able to do a full production.
All right. A couple of interesting questions. One says, when I connect Partyline with a laptop, is there or will there be the ability to share screen?
This is actually this coming into a very good question about this, and also reflects the development methodology of TVU. Our product largely are microservices, and we are continuously developing and deploying to customers. And if you begin to monitoring using our product, you will continue to see new features appear at a constant rate. If it's not on a daily basis, we are releasing a lot of the services on daily basis. And this is one of the features you will see very quickly.
Excellent. As well as a question about Windows support. I think maybe Matt, you could fill that. This is, talk a little bit about how this is browser based. So we're trying to be independent of operating systems.
Yeah, I mean, that's one of the advantages, and obviously there's many different devices out there, and we've made it so that anyone can join Partyline just by simply having access to the unique URL for the particular session. So if I have a Windows laptop, all I have to do is open a Chrome browser and join that same, input that URL, and you're involved in the Partyline. You can share your microphone. You've got a webcam on the computer that can join as well. So it really was designed so that you didn't have to have a specific device in order to join Partyline. If you got a smartphone, Android, iOS, Mac, PC, doesn't matter. You should always be able to join that Partyline from any device. And the other thing is if you wanted to use a browser on a laptop just for the management, and then a TVU Anywhere for the actual interaction, you can do that as well. Everything's on the same latency, so it actually doesn't really matter.
Very interesting. So in the, to respect the time, I think we're a minute over. I'll just turn it over to VJ, Matt, or Paul for any closing thoughts before we let everyone go and get back on with their day. But before we do that, there's been a bunch of questions that have come in that we are not able to answer in the time frame we have today. But we will reach out and produce all of those answers, as well as provide this recording of this webinar for you to view later as well. So with that, I'll turn it over to Matt and Paul for closing remarks.
Yeah, just real quick, I want to echo what Jared said. This tool can be used right after this presentation. You can go to our website, sign up for TVU Anywhere, TVU Producer, download TVU Anywhere, and use it right away. You don't actually need any pieces of hardware to get started and start playing with it. So I'd encourage everyone to give it a try. And Paul?
Yes, that's true. You can immediate access to all those capabilities, and there are certain things it's still not released to public, which is, you know, Apple, Google take time for them to kind of certify the product, the solutions, the app, and to be in the store. So some of them, we will send you a private link to access to the beta version, private beta version, like a TVU Anywhere. But a public version should be released according to Apple and Google's timeline, maybe 3-4 days from now. But meanwhile, we will give you all the link to the private beta version. But the website, Producer, and as well as Partyline is the right way accessible.
Excellent. Thank you all. We really appreciate everyone's time, and we're really excited for you guys to get your hands on this, test it out. We love feedback. We love to take our customers' problems and turn them into solutions and figure out ways that we can build new and innovative products off of this. So all the questions you guys have asked, great. We're going to be providing feedback and look forward to hearing from you as we continue to develop and advance innovation amongst social production. Take care. Have a great day.